सलामी देगा, सलामी आ जाओ।
भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय.
ಧರೆಗವತರಿಸಿದ ಸ್ವರ್ಗದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಿಯು ಸುಂದರ ತಾಯ್ನೆಲವು ನಮ್ಮಿ ತಾಯ್ನೆಲವು. ದೇವಿ ನಿನ್ನೆಯ ಸೊಬಗಿನ ಮಹಿಮೆಯ ಬಣ್ಣಿಸಲಸದಳವು. ಕುವೆಂಪುರವರು ಹೀಗೆ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯುತ್ತಾ ಧವಳ ಹಿಮಾಲಯ ಮುಕುಟದ ಮೆರುಗು, ಕಾಲ್ ತೊಳೆಯುತ್ತಲಿದೆ ಜಲಧಿಯ ಬುರುಗು, ಗಂಗಾ ಬಯಲಿನ ಹಸರಿನ ಸೆರುಗು, ಕಣ ಕಣ ಮಂಗಲವು ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಪವಿತ್ರವಾದ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದ 76ನೇ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಪೂರ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. It's a privilege that our revered Adhyaksha Maharaj, revered correspondent Maharaj, all the senior Swamijis, ex-principal Sri K Kumar sir, Sri K Ananta Padmanabh sir, all the esteemed colleagues, and you all have assembled here on this auspicious occasion. On behalf of Sri Ramakrishna Vidyashala, we extend a very warm greetings to you all, dear children. As you are aware, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, in brief AKAM, is being celebrated to commemorate the 75 glorious years of a progressive, independent India. Under the aegis of AKAM, a campaign, Ghar Tiranga, has been launched to encourage the citizens to hoist the national flag of India in their homes and open areas. Indian national flag is governed by the Flag Code of India 2002 and the Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act 1971. During this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India has amended this law which permits citizens to use hand-spun, hand-woven or machine-made cotton or polyester or wool or silk or khadi flags. Another amendment is that flag is displayed in open or displayed on the house of a member of public, and it may be flown day and night. It's a great moment of joy that Honorable Lieutenant Diwan Singh Dhamiji, our honorable colleague, hoisted the national flag today. We salute him for protecting our motherland as a soldier for decades together. He's a great son of this great soil. आपकी वर्षों की देश सेवा के लिए हम सब का सलाम, अभिवंदन और आभार। Dear friends, we are fortunate to be a part of this Platinum Jubilee celebration of Indian independence. मेरा भारत महान, सारे जहां से अच्छा, हिंदुस्तान हमारा। जय हिंद। Revered Adhyaksha Maharaj, amidst his busy schedule, is here with us today for this important program. On behalf of the institution, we reverentially welcome Swamiji and we request him to address the gathering. Revered Swamiji.
भारत माता की जय। Dear Swami Yukteshananda Maharaj, the correspondent of Vidyashala, principal, staff members, and today's our chief guest, a very important personality in Vidyashala life, Lieutenant Colonel Dhamiji, Diwan Singh Dhamiji, our very, very dear grandfatherly bandmaster of Vidyashala and ex-army staff who also headed the Beat the Retreat some few decades ago. And we have such a very, very dear and very great dedicated soldier of India to hoist the flag today. And we, on behalf of the institution, we thank him profusely. A country to march forward, we need tremendous unifying power. If you have to go forward in your life, your heart and the hand and the entire person should be united and one. Is it not? You should work for a united will. So, this Tiranga is a beautiful symbology of the Indian nationhood, the Indian patriotism, Indian Deshabhakti, because you have to imagine the entire India and it becomes easy for everybody to use the symbology of the sacred flag, the tricolor. This is the human patriotic culture given to us by the Constitution and the elders to symbolically respect the country through a flag. especially during this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Prime Minister of India and all the elders who are in the governance, we thought that how are we to really meaningfully unite the people of this country, the crying need of the unity of the country, through every possible means, every sacred, wise, honest means. What is needed behind all this? If we hoist the flag today and do not bother about the national unity, then this exercise is not so successful. So please note that flag symbolizes the unity of India. The tricolor, all the important colors are merged into three colors, and that color indicates the varied minds of the country, the three streams, and then they become one in one flag. And that symbolizes our nation, and that is the symbology. So one India, one flag, one people, and one governance for the well-being of the citizens of India and the well-being of the mankind. Dear boys, youngsters, you remember that Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of Indian independence, you celebrated when you were a student in India, in Vidyashala, and how India really, at this juncture of its development of 75 years as an independent nation, though our nation is thousands of years old, it has its own culture. It is not that India was born in 75 years ago. India was re-christianed as India with an independent flag and a constitution of our own. After we lost our freedom 1000 years ago, under the rule of so many foreigners came and ruled us. That you should know. But never again we will lose that freedom. By any force, it is not the physical, territorial freedom. We should have a real freedom. Swami Vivekananda says, freedom is the law of growth. Real development is possible when there is a freedom, but not the reckless, wayward freedom which will unnecessarily exploit the people who exploit the freedom and work against the country. Sometimes freedom can be used negatively also. That is why earlier years there is a totalitarian regime. Nothing, if you do this way, that way, your head will go. But that is not we, the responsible citizens of this country, we enjoy the freedom in a responsible way and yet keep the unity of the country and the discipline of the citizenship and work for the well-being of the country. Every moment of patriotism is not only in flag hoisting, please note. Patriotism lies in doing good to the country at every moment, every endeavor. Being the student, you know, gaining knowledge, right knowledge to serve the country in future. You all now in the process of gathering knowledge, so that you should see that your duty to the nation now is to gather the right knowledge, so that you'll be able to serve the country better tomorrow. That is why you see it written that knowledge alone can make us perfect. That is what Swami Vivekananda says. Knowledge alone can make us perfect. So during this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, let us all resolve just celebration for the celebration is no good. We should decide. There should be some transformation in our personality. We should all unitedly decide that we will gain right knowledge, we will gain right skill, we will have a right patriotic attitude, so that we will become a really free, powerful citizens of this great nation and serve our motherland in the years to come, and seize every opportunity to serve every human being, every citizen of this country who are your neighbors, friends, and anywhere. So one fervor that we should have is that we should serve our country any way and every way that the opportunity, that the destiny provides for us. So please see that each one of you, that is all resolved, that we will serve our motherland the best of our ability during these future days and during the future part of your life, so that we will make our nation a great nation among the community of nations. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರಿಗೆ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅನಂತ ವಂದನೆಗಳು. Dear students, it's my privilege to give you a brief biodata of today's chief guest, Honorary Lieutenant Diwan Singh Dhamiji. Born in the year 1939, on 10th April, Sri Diwan Singh ji joined Indian Army in the year 1958. He did a one-year course, that is Regimental Musician course, RM course, in 1961. Later, he took up and completed PBM course, Potential Bandmaster course, in 1971. Later, he went on scaling up the ladder, and he served in the President House Band and did duty 3 times. Then he joined Amar Jyoti Band and did duty at Indian Gate, and later he also served in foreign countries, and he was in foreign band duty. He has served in Oman, Egypt and Muscat. Later, after his retirement, he joined Good Shepherd International School at Ooty in 1986, and later came to Lawrence School Ooty and served Lawrence School Ooty for 10 long years. After that, he was with Presidency School Bangalore for a year, and then Jain International School Bangalore for 2 years. Then came our opportunity. In between also, he used to visit Vidyashala while he was at Ooty and train our boys. But he joined Vidyashala in Sri Ramakrishna Vidyashala, and I am very happy to announce the Silver Jubilee stay of Sri Diwan Singh Ji Dhami on our campus. Hearty congratulations to Diwan Singh Ji. For the past 25 years, he has served Vidyashala, and we all know his contribution towards our band. If our band is known all over the country, if a band plays the tune so very well, it is because of the sincere efforts of Diwan Singh Ji Dhami. He was also in the Republic Day Parade Band, which will be held at New Delhi, and hold your breath, he has participated in Republic Day Parade 17 times. So it is a great honor, and I once again request all of you to give a huge round of applause to Diwan Singh. Thank you. Now, it's our time to honor this great soldier, great son of our country. I request reverentially Revered Adhyaksha Maharaj, Revered Correspondent Maharaj, to honor Honorary Lieutenant Diwan Singh Dhami, Revered Swamiji. Thank you, Swamijis. Thank you, sir. Now I request Shri Diwan Singh Ji, Dhami, sir, to address the gathering. Dhamiji.
पूजनीय अध्यक्ष स्वामी जी महाराज, पूजनीय क्रॉसवानी स्वामी जी महाराज, पूरे स्वामी जी महाराज, मेरा बहुत बहुत प्रणाम। आदरणीय एवं सम्मानीय हमारे प्रिंसिपल सर और पूरा स्टाफ और मेरे बहुत क्लोज स्कूल के पूरे बच्चे, मैं अपने शब्द में एक दो बातें आपको बोलूँगा, शायद वो आपको लास्ट दम तक बहुत प्रेरणादायक हो। आज मेरे लिए, आपके लिए, सबके लिए बहुत गौरव का दिन है। 75वां सम्मान दिवस, अमृता महोत्सव, और मैं सब लोगों का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं जो आप लोगों ने मुझे राष्ट्रीय ध्वज फहराने का अवसर दिया है। ये मेरे लिए बहुत प्राउड है। साथ में हमारे स्टाफ और बच्चे लोग, मैं अपने अनुभव के अनुसार एक दो शब्द मैं आपको बोलूँगा, शायद आपको अच्छा लगे। काफ़ी जगह पर सेवा करने का मौका मिला, फॉरेन में भी, अपने देश के अंदर में और जगह पर भी, लेकिन जहाँ पर सच बोलने का और ईमानदारी से काम करने का, मन में एक सही प्रेरणा मिलने वाली जगह केवल रामकृष्ण विद्याशाला लगा। और जब मैं महसूस करता हूँ, काफ़ी पुराने स्कूल, एडवांस स्कूल, बड़े स्कूल जो कहलाते हैं, उनमें भी मैं काम किया हूँ, लेकिन जो मेरे को मन में शांति लगती है वो यहाँ मिलती है। एक छोटा सा उदाहरण बोलता हूँ मैं अपने लिए। मेरे बेटे ने बोला कि मुझे 15 अगस्त के लिए मैं कहीं चीफ गेस्ट हूँ, क्या पापा आप आएंगे? तो मैंने यही बोला कि मैं रामकृष्ण विद्याशाला जा रहा हूँ, मेरे लिए वही बड़ा है। तो उसका प्रोग्राम मैंने कैंसिल तो नहीं किया है, लेकिन मैं स्टेट इधर आया हूँ। तो इससे आपको लगता है कि मेरा आपके साथ में इतना क्लोज है कि मैं अपने परिवार से भी आपको छोड़कर, उनको छोड़ के आपके पास आया हूँ। ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है। दूसरा, एक छोटा सा उदाहरण मैं बोलता हूँ, आपके सामने रखता हूँ। स्वामी जी का जब लेक्चर था चिकागो यूएसए में, तो फोटोग्राफर जो था स्वामी जी की फ़ोटो ले रहा था, लेकिन उसको थोड़ा सा में रुकावट आ रही थी, फ़ोटो स्वामी जी की क्लियर नहीं आ रही थी। तो उसने स्वामी जी को रिक्वेस्ट किया कि आपकी फ़ोटो मेरी कैमरा में सही नहीं आ रही है, स्वामी जी क्या करूं मैं? तो स्वामी जी ने बोला कि मुझे फ़ोटो दिखाओ, क्या कमी है उसमें, मैं तो यहाँ अकेला आया हूँ। अब ये चीज़ मैंने सुना है, वो मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपको। जब फ़ोटो दिखाया तो उसमें गुरु जी की छाया थी। तो स्वामी जी ने एहसास किया मैं अकेला नहीं हूँ, मेरे साथ में गुरु जी हैं। तो आप विश्वास करो, आप लोगों के साथ में, हमारे साथ में गुरु जी 24 घंटा है। इसको दिल में रखने से झूठ और बेईमानी आपकी दिल में आएगा नहीं। जो भी आएगा मेहनत के साथ में। और दूसरा, हमारा जो स्टाफ है, जिनको मैं दिल से बहुत विद्वान समझता हूँ, विद्वान हैं, जो आपको गलत रास्ता नहीं देते हैं, सही डायरेक्शन में आपको ले जाते हैं। और जो हमारे स्कूल से पास आउट होकर के बाहर निकलते हैं, कभी कभी वो लोग मैं मिलता हूँ उनसे, तो हमारा देश का कल्चर उनके ऊपर झलकता है। और ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है। और आगे के लिए भी मैं सभी बच्चों से बोलता हूँ, हमारे स्टाफ, हमारे पूजनीय स्वामी जी सब जो हैं आदरणीय हैं और स्मरण करने लायक हैं। तो आप अच्छा इस विद्याशाला में करें, अच्छा नेम कमाएं। दूसरी बात बैंड की तरफ से है, स्वामी जी लोगों का, स्टाफ लोगों का फोकस ज़्यादातर बैंड के ऊपर में होता है। बैंड और स्विमिंग पूल है, सब है। तो ये भी हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है। बैंड हमारी स्टेट में अच्छे लेवल पर है और आगे को इससे भी अच्छा होना चाहिए और होगा। मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय भारत माता की।
Pranams to Diwan Singh ji for his wonderful message on this very, very auspicious and memorable and happy occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. We also want to convey our pranams to Sri K P Ananta Padmanabh sir, who was born in probably 1936, sir. Am I right, sir? So, one more round of applause to our guide, friend and philosopher, Sri K P Ananta Padmanabh sir. Now, I request our correspondent Swamiji, who has planned and programmed this, very important occasion. His guidance was very important, and all throughout, sir, Swamiji was with us. Now we request revered correspondent Swamiji to address us.
My pranams to Revered Adhyaksha Swamiji, namaskars to all the other Swamijis assembled here, regards to all the members of the staff, and special regards to our chief guest, Sri Diwan Singh Dhamiji. Very dear students, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and Ghar Tiranga has assembled us all here. Maybe otherwise only on 15th August we would have assembled. That has given us an opportunity, and we feel not only very happy, we also feel honored that Sri Diwan Singh ji is our chief guest today, 13th August, on this occasion of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, to hoist the national flag. On behalf of the institution and all assembled here, we very lovingly and heartily thank Sri Diwan Singh ji. Dear students, this idea of Har Ghar Tiranga, where crores and crores of people have displayed the national flag, hoisted the national flag today, 13th August. Almost all of our staff members also have hoisted or displayed the national flag in their houses. Crores of people in the country are doing it today, and it is filling the hearts of all people, not only with joy, with fresh enthusiasm everywhere. For 3 days, 13th, 14th and 15th, it can be displayed. Principal has already given you the details. This shows us, Swamiji has already touched this point, I just briefly touched that. This shows this joy and enthusiasm reliving the 1947 moment of August 15th. At the same time, this shows, Ghar Ghar Tiranga shows how with a high ideal we can all be united, which is very much necessary. Maybe we were separated by some forces, some wrong thinking, wrong ideas. How one ideal and one idea, one nation, one national flag, how we respect that, what the national flag stands for. That idea, how it can unite us. We are seeing it in the country today. On this occasion, dear students, we appeal to you. Tomorrow is Sunday. Most of you are meeting your parents. All of you will be talking to your parents. Please make sure the national flag is displayed in every one of your houses. Make sure. Talk to your parents. Let them send you, if some boys, if they have the phone, or your parents come, if they have taken some photographs of the flags displayed or hoisted in your houses, let them show that. Let us all feel proud. This is not an ordinary country. Swamiji told us 75 years of independence, but 2,000, 3,000 years of history of India. So we have reasons to be proud. I just one point refer to Swami Vivekananda. We are all sitting in front of his statue. Swamiji says, when we say patriotism, he said 3 steps are necessary. 3 steps are necessary. First he says, asks us, if you are a patriot, do you feel for the country and your countrymen? First feeling. This is my country, I should do something for the countrymen, my countrymen. First is a feeling, the heart. Second he says, can you think of some practical help for the country? Not simply feeling, August 15th, etc. and then die down. Can you think of some practical help? And finally, do you have the will to surmount or cross mountain high obstacles in order to serve your country? If these 3 are in you, those people, Swamiji says, are the real patriots. And he also says, let not this enthusiasm die down. Keep up the enthusiasm. Let that be the message today. Being enthusiastic and joyful, we have every occasion to do that today, from today. But let us try to keep up the enthusiasm. One word about Sri Diwan Singh ji and then I finish. With what little I have seen, Diwan Singh ji is here from the last 25 years. We have seen only a little of his personality. There are other people, Sri K Shiva Kumar, our Revered Adhyaksha Swamiji, our principal, who have seen Diwan Singh ji from last so many years, more than 2 decades. He is a very thorough gentleman, a very good devotee. Even when he is here, we have seen even before the students go to the prayer, he is already here and he comes there and offers pranams and then only goes and opens the band room. That is his love for God, devotion to God. And about his commitment and dedication, I need not tell you. We have all seen how joyful and enthusiastic our band boys are. Let that same joy come to all of us in honoring Sri Diwan Singh ji. It is our great fortune. Not only great fortune, I told you, I just repeat, it is also the honor of the institution that Sri Diwan Singh ji is our chief guest today and hoisted the national flag. Once again, wish you all the best. Jai Hind.
ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಗಳು. ಹಿರಿಯ ಜೀವಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ದಾರಿದೀಪ. ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ ಪ್ರಾಂಗಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಇರೋದು, ಓಡಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು, ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿಚಾರ ಮತ್ತು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ವಿಚಾರ. 70 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಇತಿಹಾಸ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿರಿಯರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಅಂತಹ ನಮಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಿರಿಯರ ಸಾಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಒಬ್ಬರು. ಶಿಸ್ತಿನ ಸಿಪಾಯಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂಥ ಆಡಳಿತಗಾರರು. ಅವರು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ವಿಷಯ ಗಣಿತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಆದರೂ ಅವರ ಆಂಗ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆ ಮೇಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡದು. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯರು ನಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಇರೋದು ನಮಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಸರಿಯಾದ ದಾರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆ ಜೊತೆ ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಹೀಗೆ ಸಂಪರ್ಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಅಂತ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು, ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಕರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು, ಪೂಜನೀಯರಾದಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ವರ್ಗದವರು, ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಬಂಧುಗಳು, ತಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಮೂಡಿ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಕರ್ತರು. ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹೃದಯಾಳದಿಂದ, ಅಭಿಮಾನದಿಂದ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ವಂದಿಸ್ತಾ, ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರ ಹಿರಿಯರ ಆಜ್ಞೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ, ಅಪ್ಪಣೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ, ಅನುಮತಿಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮುಕ್ತಾಯಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್. ವಂದನೆಗಳು.
Safe inspection, sir. पहला ट्रुप खड़े रहेगा, बाकी विश्राम।
ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। शन्नो मित्रः वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि हृदं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम।
झंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा विजयी विश्व तिरंगा प्यारा। मैसूर रामकृष्ण आश्रम के अध्यक्ष परम पूज्य मुक्तिदानंद स्वामी जी, हमारी विद्याशाला के करस्पॉन्डेंट पूज्य युक्तेशानंद स्वामी जी, आज की इस स्वर्णिम दिन के मुख्य अतिथि महोदय एयर कमांडर भूपेंद्र सिंह कन्वर जी, विद्याशाला के प्राचार्य श्री एस बालाजी सर, पूज्य स्वामी जीगण तथा उपस्थित सभी देशभक्तों को आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। आज से 75 साल पहले की बात है जो हमारे वीर देशभक्तों ने देश की आजादी के लिए खून बहा के भारतवासियों को सुकून दिया। यह दिन हमें याद दिलाता है कि पूर्ण स्वराज के लिए देश के कोने कोने में नारों की श्रृंखला की गूंज उठने की, सब में देश के लिए मर मिटने के भावों की, हर एक भारतवासी के रग रग में दासता से मुक्त होकर जीने की तमन्ना की, वीर सैनिकों के रक्त के कण कण में वतन के लिए अपने आप को कुर्बान करने की, नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस, महात्मा गांधी जी, लाल बाल पाल तथा अन्य देश प्रेमियों के हृदय में भारत माता के हाथों में पड़ी हुई जंजीरों को तोड़ने की, देश को मुक्त करने के लिए चंद्रशेखर आजाद, भगत सिंह, बटुकेश्वर दत्त जैसे परमवीर क्रांतिकारियों के बलिदान की, ऐसे एक से बढ़कर एक घटनाएं तथा महान चेतनाओं की याद करने का यह सुदिन है। इस सुनहरे पल पर उपस्थित रामकृष्ण आश्रम के अध्यक्ष परम पूज्य मुक्तिदानंद स्वामी जी को मैं विद्याशाला की तरफ से स्वागत करता हूं। इस सुंदर दिवस को मनाने के लिए हमारे बीच मौजूद हमारी विद्याशाला के करस्पॉन्डेंट पूज्य युक्तेशानंद स्वामी जी को मैं स्वागत करता हूं। इस शुभ तथा मनोहर समारोह को चार चांद लगाने के लिए हमारे समक्ष उपस्थित मुख्य अतिथि एयर कमांडर भूपेंद्र सिंह कन्वर VSM को स्कूल की तरफ से मैं हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। स्वागत है। विद्याशाला के प्राचार्य श्री S बालाजी सर को भी मैं स्वागत करता हूं। यहाँ उपस्थित अन्य स्वामी जीगण को मैं दिल से स्वागत करता हूं। इस अवसर पर यहाँ पधारे मुख्य अतिथि की धर्मपत्नी श्रीमती अनुपमा कन्वर तथा उनकी बड़ी बेटी सव्या और छोटी बेटी समयरा को मैं स्वागत करता हूं। यहाँ मौजूद NCC के PS स्टाफ को भी मैं स्वागत करता हूं। यहाँ उपस्थित अध्यापक मित्र, बोधकेतर वर्ग, पुराने विद्यार्थी, अन्य अतिथिगण और हमारे प्यारे बच्चों को इस आजादी के जश्न को मनाने के लिए हृदय से स्वागत करता हूं। इस अविस्मरणीय 75 साल के आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव के लिए साक्षी बने सभी को विद्याशाला की ओर से मैं स्वागत करता हूं। धन्यवाद। अब मैं अध्यक्ष महाराज से अनुरोध करता हूं कि इस संदर्भ में हमारे मुख्य अतिथि को पुष्पगुच्छ प्रदान करें। धन्यवाद स्वामी जी, धन्यवाद सर, जय हिंद।
We do hereby solemnly promise that we will serve our motherland most truly and loyally, and that we respect our constitution, the national anthem and the national flag, and strive hard to protect the sovereignty, the unity and the integrity of our country.
morning everyone. I wish all of you a very happy Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I deem it a great privilege to propose vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I reverentially thank Revered Swami Muktidananda Maharaj, Adhyaksha, Sri Ramakrishna Ashrama, Mysore, for his benign presence. I reverentially thank our correspondent, Revered Swami Yukteshananda Maharaj, for his gracious presence. I thank profusely Chief Guest of today's function, Air Commodore Bhupinder Singh Kanwar Sir, VSM, Deputy Director General of National Cadet Corps, Karnataka and Goa Directorate, who has made it convenient to hoist the Tiranga and also inspecting the parade by our student. I also thank Mrs. Kanwar and daughters for their presence. I thank all the Swamijis, Brahmacharis, our beloved Principal Sri Balaji Sir, my esteemed colleagues, old students, parents and well-wishers for their presence. Last but not the least, I also thank our dearest students who have made this program a colorful one. Thanks to one and all. Kindly note, our chief guest will be addressing the gathering in the stage program at Swami Yukteshananda Auditorium, which starts at 10 a.m. Jai Hind.
Shall I disperse the parade, sir?
Dear friends, as you all very well know, we have all gathered here to celebrate 75 years of glorious independence of our motherland, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Today is also 150th birth anniversary of the great freedom fighter and visionary Sri Aurobindo, who has observed India of the ages is not dead, nor has she spoken her last creative word. She lives and has still something to do for herself and the human peoples. India is the guru of the nations, the physician of the human soul in its profounder melodies. She is destined once more to new mold the life of the world and restore the peace of the human spirit. The program begins with invocation.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Bhadram Karne Vishnuyama Deva Bhadram Vashe Makshabhirya Jatra Sthirairangai Dustuvagam Sastanubhi Vyashema Deva Hitayadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashrava Swasti na Pusha Vishwaveda Swasti nastaksho arishtanemihi Swasti no Bruhaspatir dadhatu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om.
We have request our correspondent, Revered Swami Yukteshananda Ji Maharaj, to welcome the chief guest and all the invitees.
Namaste. Today we are celebrating a very memorable event, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, completion of 75 years of India's independence. It is a very important day in the lives of all of us. It is a very special national festival. The contribution of India for the well-being of the whole world has been very great. Our respectful pranams to Revered Swami Muktidananda Ji Maharaj, our Adhyaksha Swamiji. We reverentially welcome you, Swamiji. My loving namaskars and a warm welcome to all the monastic brothers assembled here. On behalf of Sri Ramakrishna Vidyashala and all assembled here, we very heartily welcome our chief guest, Air Commodore Bhupendra Singh Kanwar, VSM. It is a pleasure to introduce our chief guest to you all. His academic qualifications include Bachelor in Science, Master in Defense and Strategic Studies, Master degree in Management Studies, MPhil in Defense and Strategic Studies, MPhil in Public Administration, and he takes very keen interest in the study of Vedanta and Advaita Vedanta in particular. He was commissioned in the Indian Air Force on 14 December 1991. He is an alumnus of National Defense Academy, Khadakwasla. There is a place near Pune, and also the Navigation Training School. He has completed all the mandatory service courses like Qualified navigation instructor course, air staff course, higher defense management course, and advanced professional program in public administration. His important staff tenures include Air Force Examiner at Air Crew Examiner Board, Air Force Inspector at the Directorate of Air Staff Inspection, Directing Staff at Defense Service Staff College, Wellington, Chief Navigation Instructor of Navigation Training School. He has commanded the Navigation Training School and Air Force Station at Madh Island, Mumbai. He has a flying experience of over 4,000 hours and has flown in every sector of our country and has also taken part in the international exercises. He is awarded with the Vishishta Seva Medal for his defense services to the defense of our country. He is presently serving as the Deputy Director General DDG of the Karnataka and Goa NCC Directorate, which he took over in May 2021. We once again very heartily welcome our Chief Guest, Air Commodore P.S. Kanwar, Vishishta Seva Medal. Our hearty welcome to Principal Sri S Balaji and all the members of our staff. On behalf of Sri Ramakrishna Vidyashala, we very warmly welcome Srimati Anupama Kanwar, wife of Air Commodore B.S. Kanwar, and his two daughters. Very hearty welcome to all of you. We also warmly welcome all our well-wishers, alumni, parents who have assembled here, and also the JCO of the 13th Karnataka NCC battalion who has assembled in this auditorium. Very hearty welcome to all of you. Finally and very importantly, our very loving welcome to you all, dear students. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Request our President Swamiji, Revered Swami Muktidananda Maharaj, to offer a bouquet to the chief guest and welcome him. Revered Swamiji. We now request our correspondent Maharaj to offer a gift of books as a token of our affection to the chief guest. We request our beloved principal, sir, to offer a memento to the chief guest. I request my esteemed colleague Sri Srinivas Babu, sir, to offer a bouquet to Mrs. Bhupender Singh Kanwar and welcome her. Let us all now listen to a wonderful and melodious, invigorating, patriotic song by our students.
जय भारत।
we now have recitations by our students in Hindi, Kannada, followed by English.
नमस्कार मेरे प्यारे मित्रों, आजादी की लड़ाई में आखिरी सांस तक लड़े पंजाब के श्री लाला लाजपत राय को आप सभी जानते ही हैं। अब आपके समक्ष साइमन कमीशन बहिष्कार का एक प्रसंग प्रस्तुत है। स्थान लाहौर, 30 अक्टूबर 1928 का प्रातःकाल पंजाब के श्री लाला लाजपत राय के नेतृत्व में साइमन कमीशन बहिष्कार का एक जुलूस निकला। शांतिपूर्ण जुलूस स्टेशन पहुंचा। लाहौर स्टेशन के उस मार्ग में चारों ओर घंटी ने तार लगवा दिया जहां से साइमन कमीशन आने वाला था। जुलूस ने नारा लगाना शुरू किया, साइमन लौट जाओ, साइमन गो बैक। जैसे ही घोषणा की आवाज चारों ओर गूंजने लगी, लोगों ने गुब्बारों पर साइमन कमीशन लौट जाओ, भारत भारतीयों के लिए है आदि घोषणा लिखकर आकाश में उड़ा दिया। सीनियर सुपरिटेंडेंट पुलिस कोर्ट ने लाठीचार्ज की आज्ञा दी। पंजाब केसरी ने लाठियों के प्रहार को वीरता से सहन किया और अपने स्थान पर डटे रहे। उनकी आंखों से जो चिंगारियां निकल रही थी, ब्रिटिश साम्राज्य को भस्म करने में सशक्त थी। उनकी पीठ और छाती पर कई लाठियों के प्रहार पड़े। लाजपत राय ने मारने वालों से नाम पूछा, पर उत्तर के रूप में उन्हें सिर्फ लाठियों के प्रहार ही मिलता रहा। पंजाब केसरी दहाड़े, मेरे शरीर पर हुई एक एक चोट ब्रिटिश साम्राज्य के कफन के कील होगी, मगर चोट से उनकी छाती पर घाव और सूजन आ गई। अंत में 17 नवंबर 1928 का प्रातःकाल पंजाब केसरी वीर स्वर्ग सिधारे। दीप बुझ गया, लेकिन उनकी ज्योति देशभक्त नवयुवकों का मार्गदर्शक बन गया। देशभक्त भारतीयों ने उन्हें शहीद का ताज पहनाया। आजादी के लिए लड़े रत्नों में पंजाब के श्री लाला लाजपत राय श्रेष्ठ रत्न बन गए। जय हिंद।
ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯದ ಅಮೃತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಪ್ರೇಮದ ನುಡಿಗಳು. ಓ ನನ್ನ ಭರತ ಮಾತೆಯ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಪುತ್ರರೇ, ಅನೇಕ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಭಕ್ತರ ತ್ಯಾಗ ಬಲಿದಾನಗಳಿಂದಾಗಿ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಭಾರತದ ಭವ್ಯ ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯದ ಅಮೃತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಯುವ ಶಕ್ತಿಯೇ, ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯವೆಂದರೆ ಸ್ವೇಚ್ಛಾಚಾರವಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯವೆಂದರೆ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯ ಭಾರ ಹೊತ್ತು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರವನ್ನು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಪಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಸಲು ದೀಕ್ಷೆ ತೊಟ್ಟು ಸಾಗುವ ಎದೆಗಾರಿಕೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಪ್ರಜೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಓ ನನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ನಿಸ್ವಾರ್ಥ ಪ್ರೇಮ, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಭಕ್ತಿ, ಸಹೋದರತೆ, ಸಮಾನತೆ, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯತೆಯಂಥ ತತ್ವಗಳ ಅಡಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರವನ್ನು ಮುನ್ನಡೆಸುವವರು ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಜಾತಿ, ಮತ, ಪಂಥಗಳ ಗೊಂದಲ ಗೋಜಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಸಿ ಮತೀಯ ಭಾವನೆ ಕೆರಳಿಸಿ ಮನುಕುಲ ಒಡೆದು ಆಡುವ ದುಷ್ಟತನ ಕೊನೆಗಾಣಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಆರೋಗ್ಯ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕತೆ, ಕೃಷಿ, ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ, ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆ, ಅರಣ್ಯ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ, ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಹೀಗೆ ನಾನಾ ರಂಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ
Preparation for Citizenship, from a speech delivered by Annie Besant at a students' conference in 1916. As students, whether in school or college, you need to realize the enormous importance of the present years as the preparation for your work in the world. The nation of tomorrow is in the schools and colleges of today, and on the knowledge that you are there acquiring, on the characters that you are there building, on the bodies that you are there developing, depends the India of the new era. For India is changing with extraordinary rapidity as the entire world acknowledges, and you have the splendid karma of being born in a dawn of a renovated life. The responsibilities of power will fall upon your shoulders. You will have to guard your land from external attack and from internal disorder. You will have to develop her arts, her manufactures, her trade, her commerce, her agriculture, to shape her practical destiny and to guide her forward evolution. An important thing you should learn in your school and college days is the joy of service. Help those around you and seek opportunities to help. Sometimes a school or college can start and support a night school or a school for the submerged classes. You can in towns visit the hospitals, write letters for patients, carry messages for them. Another important thing you should all do is that you should share your education with others. The history of your own country you should study, both for inspiration and for practical guidance. For a nation is a continuum and must build its present on its past. Teach your illiterate brothers and sisters to read and write. Talk with them of public matters, of the movements going on in the outer world. Take them pamphlets and books in the vernaculars. Read to them and with them and discuss what you read. You will soon find the charm of an educated neighborhood, of sympathy in all your interests, the sharing of your hopes and aspirations. Thank you.
We request our chief guest, Sri Singh Kanwar, to address the gathering.
Respected Swami Muktidananda ji, Swami Yukteshananda ji, Principal Balaji, faculty members, dear students. This is a very momentous occasion when we celebrate the 76th Independence Day on completion of 75 years of independence as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. This is a time to remember the great sacrifices by our ancestors who have done to build this country, and also time to rejoice because you people stand at a very crucial juncture wherein the future is very bright. Not that the past has been bad. We've been world leader in terms of thought. We had some of the best universities in the world, the University of Takshila and Nalanda. Some of the greatest inventions in terms of the human philosophy or science has come out of this nation. They spread from here concepts like Shalab Sutra, the study of astronomy, the study of Surya Siddhanta, which talks about the astronomical drill pens which has traveled from here to the west, and west has learned from us. We knew the distance between moon and sun, the orbital periods of planets way back, while Europe was struggling to understand whether the earth is flat or round. We were one of the biggest economies in the world in 1850. We controlled about 30% of the economy. We went down, and today when you stand at this juncture, this is again the beginning of rise of this nation. So as I said, you children are standing on a very interesting and a brilliant point in the history where the future is very bright. Unlike a few generations back when the options and career were very limited, today sky is the limit. You can dream to become whatever you want. There are opportunities in each and every aspect of life, in humanities, in science. The field is really opening up. What I find very interesting is India is an extremely diverse and a complex nation. Now this diversity you'll only appreciate when you visit some other country, let's say like Russia. where only one language is spoken. Kind of languages, kind of culture, kind of ethos, kind of value systems, kind of our dress codes, beliefs which exist in India endow us with a unique feature to live in harmony, in complexity and diversity. This is something very unique. In today's world, whenever you find that most of the CEOs, wherever they are in the world, whether Google, Amazon, or all the ICE companies in the world, they are from India. One of the major reasons for this is our comfort with the complexity and the diversity and ease to live with that. So truly, you must cherish this, and this will be an important part of your future endeavors, whatever you do. Another very interesting feature is the sense of inquisitiveness, sense of inquiry, which India is known for. The very fact, this is the only nation which has developed 9 philosophical systems. And the beauty is, each being different from each other, yes, exists in absolute harmony. Different faiths, different languages, different castes, different systems of life, yet we coexist. This again is a very great gift, because whenever you pick up any international job, I'm sure many of you will do that, your ability to accept diversity, ability to accept individuals who are different than you, ability to accept the viewpoints different from you, respect them, argue with them, and learn from them, or teach something which is very unique in this country. We have always believed that never accept something as gospel truth. So the concepts of Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasanam, which is the foundation principles of the Vedanta philosophy, also have a very beautiful system where they say, listen to everything, gather the knowledge, thereafter contemplate, Manan, think about it, question it, till the time your every doubt is clarified and settled. Only when you are absolutely convinced about something, then you can really practice this truly in a day-to-day life. So my only request to you would be, keep this inquiry, keep this sense of inquisitiveness alive. Find your own truths, find your own value systems, learn for themselves, yourselves. Now, I feel you people are truly lucky. I had a wonderful glimpse in the morning about the great infrastructure that we had, and I was fortunate enough to have been conducted personally by the Swamijis around this beautiful institution, and I got glimpses of the wonderful school, the hosting facility that we have, the library we have, the innovative ideas I saw in the library, a wonderful march past in the morning. This speaks truly great about the wisdom, about the commitment of Swamiji and all the staff over here in nurturing the youth who are the future of this nation. Now you people are truly very, blessed, because unfortunately our modern education system, the focus is only on intelligence quotient or IQ, which essentially boils down to your logic, number crunching capability. World has a long way moved from IQ to EQ or emotional quotient, ability to understand your emotions and other people's emotions. And today world is talking about spiritual quotient or spiritual intelligence. But Indians have always believed this, and the very fact of studying in this school and getting a grounding in the spirituality, I must say you're truly blessed, because this provides you the grounding of understanding the fundamental value system in life, the fundamental way the human beings think and work. So I'm sure with this grounding and spiritual intelligence, you have a brilliant future ahead of you. I firmly believe that whenever you go develop and perform the job of leadership tomorrow, spiritual intelligence or the ethics will form a very important part of your life. Because whatever you do, it's very important to do it right. I firmly believe, I'm myself a student of Indian philosophy, and what I'm sharing with you is also I've learned from the Indian philosophy itself. So I firmly believe that the genesis of integrity is that we must do always right whether somebody is observing us or not, is based on the law of karma or karma yoga. It believes that whatever you speak, whatever you think, whatever you do, you will have to bear the consequence of that, either today or tomorrow or maybe a few years from now, or thousands of years, or millions of years from now. But you will have to bear the consequence. If a person understands this very basic law, that whatever I am doing, if I am doing good, I'll get good result. If I do something bad, I'll get bad result. The questions do come to people's mind when you find in the traffic light people are jumping signals. In the exams, children are cheating. In life, people are bribing. You have these dilemmas in your life. Everyone does it. Should you also do this? Please remember, everyone will bear the consequence of whatever you do. This is the law of karma. This is as true as the hard physical laws. You will bear the consequence whether somebody is watching you or not watching you. If you get this fundamental right, you never ever do anything wrong in life. Also, as Swami Vivekananda says, and since you are students of the Swami Vivekananda, I mean, what really can I teach you? But he says, be fearless. We normally fear, we have the fear of unknown. Will I succeed in the exams? Will I succeed in life? Will I get a good job? These all fears are there in the mind. And unfortunately, we are so stuck up in these fears, in these uncertainties, that the mind always keeps either thinking about the past or think of the future, what will happen. So that hardly leaves any time for us to focus on the moment. We can only make something or something happen only at this moment. But unfortunately, most of us are distracted because that's the nature of the mind, to be distracted, to be scattered. We are either thinking of the past or thinking of the future. You can make your destiny only when you are present in the moment. If you give 100% to whatever you're doing right now, that I believe and truly have experienced also is the true secret of the success. West call is being in the moment. People in the West also call it being in the flow, as Mihail Csikszentmihalyi calls us being in the flow. He is the one who studied a lot of philosophical systems around the world, and his conclusion is Indian system is the best, and we all call it by the name of Nishkam Karma also, wherein you are doing everything without any selfish interest. Because when you do without a selfish interest, neither are you worried about the past, not worried about the future. The result doesn't bother you. You focus on the present moment. And this I also call being present and enjoy the journey. Most of the times, we are so distracted. Example, I'm writing an exam. I'm so distracted. Will I fail? Will I pass? How many marks will I get? This fear is what holds us from performing well. If I can get over this fear and realize what the Bhagavad Gita also says, Karmanyeva Dhikaraste Vimafleshu Kadachan. You only have the right to work because the result is not within your hands. There are multiple things which control the result. Your past karmas, your people around you who are competing, environment, a lot of things guide the result. But as long as you're sure, whatever you do to the best of your capability, I'm sure you'll get what you want. Every job that you do is important. Doesn't really matter in the future, you decide to be whatever you want to become. You want to teach, you want to be in army, you want to be in Air Force, Navy, you want to be a scientist. Doesn't really matter. Every job is important. What matters is how much involvement you have in the job. And any one of you, I keep often quoting this. Some of you have seen this movie, Munna Bhai MBBS. There's a sweeper. Everybody wants to hug him. Why? Because his commitment to what he does is absolutely boils down to how much commitment you have in whatever you are doing. If you can do that, you have the option of excelling in whatever you do, irrespective of whatever job is there. Great people don't do great jobs. Great people do normal job with the best of commitment, total involvement, being in the moment, giving 100% to whatever is being done at that point of time. There's a general understanding that a mind can process only limited information. They say about 150 bits per second. Now, how much of this 150 bits are you able to devote to the present moment will decide whether you succeed or you'll fail. So my request to you would be, whenever you study, please give 100%, be there at the moment. Enjoy the moment. And the greatest pleasure comes only with the engagement. In the West, they have a concept of the pleasure, engagement, and meaning. Pleasure, I keep giving example quite often. Pleasure comes up when I'm a mood spectator. Example, I'm watching the game of football or cricket. I'm sitting on a sofa. like a couch potato, that's pleasure. Short-lived, it doesn't really impact us. Engagement is when I go into the field, when I play a game of football, I'm engaged in that. I'm enjoying. I'm totally involved in the moment. Next comes the meaning. Meaning is when I'm doing it for the service of the community. And rightly as I came, I saw on the outside of your school, Atmanam Moksha Jagat Hitaya. When not only I'm doing for my own development and benefit, also for the benefit of society, the greatest learning is there. Whatever we do as Nishkam Karam, without any selfish interest, for service of society, that brings in meaning to the life. The greatest happiness comes from doing things for others. It's a deep concept, but once you start experiencing this, you realize that's why the people, the greatest, the philanthropists in the world, the Warren Buffett, Ajim Premji in India, Tatas, why do they give up everything? Because they realize after a certain point of time, all this wealth and name and this thing has got no meaning. So the joy comes with the engagement and meaning when you connect with society and make a difference to society. That's what brings the true joy, which is really lasting. Other thing is, whatever you do, the intent that you have is very, very important. If you have a positive intent, even if the outcome of whatever you do is wrong, the result is not as per expectation, doesn't really matter. You will not get bad consequences of that. So always keep your intent correct and do everything with the correct intent. Another important, what I've learned is, take responsibility for whatever you are in your life right now. You are absolutely because of your past karmas. Whatever you are, we normally tend to pass the blame and project this blame outside and blame others. If the school is not good, we'll blame the teachers, we blame others. We never take the responsibility. The day we truly begin to take responsibility for whatever we are, because we are today for whatever we've done in the past, and we shall be tomorrow, whatever we do at this moment. This I find is a success, secret of success. If you can imbibe them, this will be truly, wonderful. Other thing is, we typically tend to blame the system. The things don't work, the road is not good, the vehicle system is not good, government doesn't work, others don't work. You're always pointing finger at others. The important thing is, have we really made a difference in our sphere of influence? As we keep growing bigger and bigger in life, our sphere of influence keeps on expanding. Right now, you are maybe a small student in this thing. Your sphere of influence is you and your friends in the class. Are you making a difference? You find something wrong happening, are you have the courage to stand up and say this is wrong, let's do it right? Unless each one of us start having this attitude that I am playing a very important role, irrespective of wherever I am in life. I'm a student in the class, I'm a class teacher, I'm a principal, I'm an education minister or whatever. Unless we start trying to make a difference in our sphere of influence, things won't change. And I firmly believe that we are the system. We keep blaming the system, but ultimately, system is nothing but a group of people, individual people like this. If each one of us will decide that I will bring incremental positive change in the society, in my own life, in my surroundings, the life will change and things become wonderful. Now, Swami Vivekananda says, be absolutely fearless. You have nothing to fear. The fear of unknown, people operate either from the two perspectives in the management terms. It's called the fear of failure or hope of success. Fear of failure you must get over, because as I said earlier, you will get what you deserve and what you have worked for. Nothing more, nothing less. So must get over the fear of failure. The greater thing is hope of success. Hope of success is a positive idea. Start working with that. But even greater than that is a concept of Nishkam Karma, wherein you aren't really concerned with that. You're totally devoted, committed to the whatever job you're doing and doing any work without any self-interest and for the benefit of others. That is the greatest learning that you can take home. And human potential is phenomenal. We are only limited by our imagination. Each one of you has the capability, the capacity to become whatever you want to become. Only thing required is giving you 100% to each and every moment, being totally dedicated, committed in whatever you do, and a very strong desire to continue this. This is my experience also. When you desire something from the absolute core of your heart, entire universe will conspire to make it happen for you. So whatever you choose to be, you want to become doctor, put an absolute 100% into that. It's a guarantee that you will become a doctor, you'll become an excellent doctor. Nothing can ever stop that. Because the universe picks up the right vibes. It just determines how strong are your desire, how strong is your determination. Even the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, whatever is your strong desire, that becomes your will. Whatever is your strong will, that becomes your action. Whatever is your action, that becomes your destiny. So you can create your destiny by having very strong desire, being absolutely fearless, working without any regard for the outcome, enjoy the journey. Other thing is, in life, there will be many situations when there will be doubt what is right and wrong. Unfortunately, life, there are no absolute right and wrongs. It all depends on the situation. So always remember the four Purushas: Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. As long as we keep Dharma not the religion. Dharma is what is right. Always do what is right. Now you'll ask, how do you do what is right? Always have the self-inquiry. Ask yourself, whatever I am doing, is it right or wrong? Whatever answer comes to you, that will be guide. Or else, a simple solution is there. Ask yourself, if I do this now, how will my parents feel about it? How will my teachers feel about it? If the answer is yes, that means what you're doing is right. If the answer is no, that means what you're doing is wrong. So keep the dharma, the righteousness, as the foundation in life. And as I said earlier, integrity is because whatever I do, I'll bear consequence of that. So never do anything wrong. Keeping dharma as the foundation. Enjoy the pleasures of the world. That is the artha, earn money, earn fame, earn reputation, fulfill all your desires, and thereafter head towards the moksha, which is the salvation, which is realizing your true nature. So that's all I have to say. I wish you all the best. Some of you students who are on the cusp of passing out of this wonderful institution, I wish you a very, very bright future ahead of you. And let me tell you once again, it's all how strong a burning desire that you have to succeed will decide whether you succeed or fail in life. So don't have any fears at all. Like Swami Vivekananda said, be absolutely fearless. Go out in the world because human potential is phenomenal. And as it says that, as even the Upanishads say, Aham Brahmasmi, the true nature of human being and God is same, the Sat Chitananda. So what is there to fear for? So go out, be fearless, explore the world, find your own truths, keep the sense of inquisitiveness and inquiry on, and enjoy it. God bless you, wish you all the best, and thank you Baba Swamiji for protecting me. It's been truly very enriching experience for me to come over here, and a great meeting, and I will stay in my life. Thank you much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of inspiration and profound spiritual insights. I now reverentially request Pujya Swami Muktidananda Maharaj, Adhyaksha of Sri Ramakrishna Ashram, Mysore, to deliver the Benedictory address.
Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Sri Ramakrishna Sharanam. Our very dear Yukteshananda Ji Maharaj, the correspondent of Ramakrishna Vidyashala, chief guest of today's function, Air Commander Kanwar Ji and Mrs. Kannwar Ji and the daughters, Principal Balaji, staff members, the parents and the invitees, our very dear brother monks and dear students. It is an unforgettable day for all of us and all of you to witness and observe the 75 years of Indian independence in a very, very, very special way as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and to hoist Tiranga and feel a sense of deep belonging to this great country. Feel greatly united, that we are all one. One India, one people, one constitution, and a supreme goal for the well-being of the country and the well-being of the mankind. India, you should, when you utter the word country or India, you should feel thrilled. We are fortunate to belong to a great intellectual and very colorful tradition of thousands of years. The country, because of the lack of unity, traumatically went into a number of foreign invasions for 1,000 years. And at last, we regained our freedom 75 years ago. And now we are determined to rebuild India based on all that has happened in the past. Learn lessons, dear boys. It is not just, taking out and leaving and studying this subject and that subject. You need to think deeply about our country as a whole, the world as a whole, the humankind as a whole, and how you need to dedicate your very, very precious life for your own well-being and well-being of the society and the country. Our chief guest today, Kanwar ji, has given you such beautiful tips. I suppose you have heard him attentively. I always say, the great thoughts, ideas, advice which come to us from the people who thought so deeply to lift our life forward and onward. You should listen to them attentively, record their guidance, make a mental note, and also make a note in your diary. So he told me about India's greatness, India's system of philosophy, and what are the great things we have had over centuries, and how as an individual you need to do right thing, and every action, every thought, every feeling has its own rebound reaction. So take care of your thoughts and action, and you will reap a rich harvest of good life. So you will never do a wrong thing if you are very conscious of doing the right thing, the right purpose, the right way. That's what he told me. So this kind of advice, if you internalize very sincerely, you will be a better person tomorrow. Your tomorrow's routine will be a better routine. Your tomorrow's thought process will be different and uplifting, very fruitful, and it will give you self-fulfillment, and it will do good to you and do good to your society. That is why you really need to be very sensitive to the ideas and thoughts that surface in our mind, and ideas and thoughts we encounter during such great celebration. And another three Three speeches our youngsters today made are marvelous. They are really full of inspiration, full of great ideas, which we all just very badly need. So try to aspire, ask the teachers to have a copy of the 3 recitation today. Get it xeroxed and see that every one of you by heart them. Every one of you by heart them, the 3 recitation of today, which you should remember that you have heard from your own friends on the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. This is not just for celebration, for the sake of celebration, having a 1 hour good program. This should make an impact in our life. If we, insensitively pass through all the great things that we hear, and just we hear, clap and forget, and our life is same like the old, getting into that old rut. So we all must strive for self-transformation. Become better and better for your own sake, for the joy of life. So, the last 2-3 sentences of the chief guest, you should remember your commitment to the life, responsibility of life, and how you should make your life a successful one. And another important idea is, many of us, our energies and our life, the power of life and power of energy gets dwindled because of the fear. He repeatedly referred to be fearless. I have observed this fearlessness as a very important virtue. I did not, when he said Swami Vivekananda's central idea is Abhi, fearlessness, I heard. Then our chief guest of the college, Narayan Murthy, when he spoke about, that is still in the YouTube, it is there available, electronic media, he told 21st century, what are the great, he's a man of great experience. He lived very meaningfully, purposefully. He is a person who goes on learning. Suppose 5 to 6 hours he was here in our premises, the Narayan Murthy of Invocation. In every action, in his eating, in his tying the lace of the shoes, in his little, we learned a lot. We heard in the food, Swamiji, we told this is nice and all that. No, I have diabetes. I said, what is that? There are many other good food which, so Swamiji said, no, sweet I don't take. Then he took a pinch of it and said, it's the power of determination, you see. Very simple dress. And our footsteps, when he alighted from the stage, there was little darkness and he was about to tumble. It was for some moment he was little, because he did not bother about him. He told, you got a chief guest and you made not an arrangement to bring him down properly, and he thought, it is not for me, the institution will get a bad name. His concern was about institution. He told us, I took a small thing. Swamiji, just please see that, hold the light and see that it is properly done. The steps are very precarious. There is no side, rod for holding and all that. Then onwards, Balaji was there right beside me. Then he was little upset. Then he immediately recovered. Then his teacher Arkanath was standing there after this incident, and he greeted Arkanath with such completely changed, so much of joy and respect and all that. See, these great people, whenever more than the books, We should learn from satsang of the people. Everyday life, when you meet people, when you talk to people, you should learn. So that Narayan Murthy also told, Abhayam, fearlessness is the number one quality. I just wondered, I introspected over it. Then I suddenly we were chanting with Daivi Sambhat I had long ago when I was in 6th standard. Then that also I said, but we did not bother about it. Then in Daivi Sambhat also Bhagavad Gita puts Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastiti. Abhayam is the first. Fearlessness is the first. Then I discussed with Narayan Murthy, why you put the fearlessness as the first. Then he told me, Swamiji, see, the life should be adventurous. See, we have three types in our mind. We have got animal mind, which will take us to the animal behavior controlled by limbic system. Then we have got the human mind, different strata of the human mind. You should go up, education is taking you forward, human mind, higher music, language, all that higher philosophy. Then we have a divine mind, which can give us an idea of who we are. Body is death bound. So we graduate from, as children, we were like a civilized animals, and then we move forward through education, and then we go and get into the higher mind. And in the higher mind, they say, if you have to have, unless you have a courage to go forward in your journey, denying that you should not do and what should you do, and climbing the higher rungs of the ladder of ideas, higher ideas, practical ideas to take the life forward in right action. So he says, in suppressing all the lower part of the mind and ascending her. It is like climbing Mount Everest is, it's tremendous courage is required. So ascent of the mind is possible only if you have an element of fearlessness. That is why fear for danger is more dangerous than danger itself. Danger will come and go, some difficulties will come on. If you all the time worried about this little difficulty here and there, so marching forward with fearlessness will make you really successful. It will give you extra energy. All successful people have this fearlessness as a very important quality. Fearlessness means not carelessness. Fearlessness means not doing gundaism. Fearlessness is really what Aurobindo calls as stoic courage. A stoic, inherent, courageous mind which gets uplifted to do right things at right time, without any kind of hesitation. So, dear boys, this fearlessness is one quality which the chief guest has repeatedly told perhaps 4 or 5 times in his speech, and which I also noted, and I thought that during this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, looking at the country, what are the problems? What we need to make the country great? This is what we should really decide today, or during this juncture of the 75 years. How far are we to take the nation forward? All the great things that India has and had, and all that you have beautifully depicted in your library. Today's library exhibition, I am telling you, I congratulate the whole team. Overall, the ideas were good. Wonderful creativity, so much of creativeness out of the books were made. Good thrilling experience to see every bit of it. So that is how you will be able to do great things like that, as you have done today, the library exhibition. See, it can be just a pass with some display of books. You put your heart and soul into it and made a concept and made out of a book, sir. How beautifully you have made it. I never imagined out of books you can make such a wonderful thing. So, dear boys, where there is a courage to do creative great things, and you have to think of the country now, what we need is unity. What we need is constructive positivism. When in newspaper, in spite of seeing some wrong thing, bad thing, you should not get discouraged. When I grow, I will contribute whatever I can for the good of the country to wipe out whatever is wrong today in the society. Not too much of idealism. He told, don't be corrupt, do your duties properly, aspire for higher knowledge. See, so much life is very precious. You should be a good student of our own life. Student means wanting to know our life, mind, body, whole thing. You should think about it, not to be selfish, but to understanding, higher understanding. And find out what you should do to transform your life. Everything will not come bad. But your thinking is very important. It is the apperceptive mass of ideas which are there in your mind. Out of that, whatever positive, constructive, good things as you have displayed in the library today, such great creative, positive, constructive ideas have to be harnessed, strengthened, organized, and made a part of your everyday life. When you are in the classroom, be attentive. When you are in the dining hall, be controlled, have a control over food. When you are in the prayer hall, be very steady. That is how you build life. When you attend to such wonderful, programs, gather the great ideas and contribute for the good of such program. It's all your hard work of the staff of Vidyashala and the students and the Swamijis here, which has made this celebration so glorious, so beautiful. The march was fine. The ground was so beautifully decorated, and the exhibition here and there and every bit of it was very nice. The stage was so marvelously decorated, full of inspiration. Every nook and corner you see something nice, something beautiful, something uplifting. So hearty congratulations to you all. Just as we have made this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav beautiful, please dream to make the country great. When you grow, when you are in the middle age and all the problems that you see in today's newspaper should not be there. All the good great things which the country has to have, the unity, the human understanding, service to science and religion and spirituality. Chief Guest told dharma, and he told in the last word, based on dharma means individual well-being. The understanding of the dharma can be the individual well-being, working for the individual well-being along with the collective well-being, with a central focus on to know the truth about our own existence and about the nature. Individual welfare, national welfare, both are to be, you should tally. Each individual's life, a billion people's individual good life will build a nation. If every home is in peace, the whole town is in peace. So individual well-being is reconstruct our individuality will lead to the reconstruction of the society automatically. So that individual awareness and the collective awareness, in and through this you should look up, because body will go one day, life is death bound. So we have to know who we are and what this world and nature is. That is the hallmark, that is why God has given us that intellect. So this collective goal of dharma, you have it in the mind, and let this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav be a turning point in our individual life and the national life. Thank you.
I invite my esteemed colleague, Sri K S Murugesh, lecturer in physics, to propose a vote of thanks.
Revered Swamiji, distinguished chief guest of 75th anniversary independence celebrations, parents, alumni, well-wishers, invitees and dear students. The freedom with which we are living today is due to sacrifices and hardships of many sung and unsung heroes of freedom struggle. A look into India's freedom struggle brings before our eyes the magnitude of Indian patriotism, the electrifying stories of struggle of men and women across the length and breadth of our country for independence. Apart from paying respects to all those who sacrificed their lives for us to breathe an air of freedom, today each one of us renew in our hearts commitment to work and contribute to an integrated India. It's my pleasant duty to propose a vote of thanks on this special 75 years of independence celebration and commemoration of glorious history of people, culture and achievements. Special this year because Bharat is wrapped in Tiranga and it unites 1.4 billion Indians today. Revered Swami Muktidananda Maharaj, Adhyaksha, Ramakrishna Ashrama, Mysore, who was correspondent of Vidyashala for nearly 2.5 decades earlier, continues to show interest and guide us in various activities of Vidyashala so that every student who enters this portal imbibes elements required for well-rounded personality in future. Revered Swamiji, your words of wisdom and insights are valuable to us. On behalf of the institution, we thank you for gracing this occasion and giving out the Benedictory address. Thank you, Swamiji. We are indeed fortunate to have in our midst Air Commodore B.S. Kanwar, BSM, Deputy Director General, NCC Directorate, Karnataka and Goa as chief guest. Sir, your words of comfort with complexity, diversity and differences, sense of inquisitiveness, contemplating before acting, doing things rightly whether observed or not observed by others, be in the present to do well, are the key takeaways for our students in my view. Thank you, sir. We are truly honored to have you and we are enriched by your profound speech. On behalf of the institution, we thank you for sparing your time and addressing our students insightfully. We have amidst us today Mrs. Kanwar and her 2 daughters gracing the occasion. On behalf of the institution, we thank you for being the part of our celebration. Revered Swami Yukteshananda, correspondent of Vidyashala, always supports, encourages and supervises various programs that are undertaken for the all-round development of students. We are grateful to you, Swamiji. On behalf of all assembled here, I extend my sincere thanks and also for your brief, precise and sweet welcome speech. Today's program has been organized by involving students with few rehearsals of invocation, recitations, patriotic song and skit under the supervision and mentoring of our principal Sri S Balaji to bring out the best in our students on this stage today. We are thankful to you, sir. My due thanks to all across the audience, Swamijis, parents, alumni, invitees, colleagues, managerial staff, supporting staff, and the core of audience section, dear students. On behalf of all assembled here, I extend appreciation and congratulations to the students who performed in various activities on the stage today here, and our due thanks to all the student volunteers also. Thank you one and all. I request all of you to join me in saying Jai Hind. Jai Hind! Thank you.
I request the dignitaries on the dais to occupy their seats in front of the stage to witness the cultural programs. We are going to witness the cultural programs of our institution today. At the outset, we have Indian independence, a glimpse, specially prepared for the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
India's struggle for independence. Ours is an ancient land with the civilization and culture which dates back to thousands of years. There has always been a deep-rooted respect for the diverse culture and religious identity which together created this civilization of ours. With the establishment of British rule, a totally new phase in our history began. For the first time in her long history, India was subjugated by a foreign power and was ruled in the interest of another country. Colonialism was a global phenomenon, a new system of exploitation in the world history. The British made use of the difference in Indian society and created disunity so that they could perpetuate their rule. Consciously and deliberately, they followed a policy of divided rule. It was against this imperialistic rule of Britain that India's struggle is a long march towards freedom, and its beginning can be traced to the British conquest of India. The British faced resistance at every step. The resistance reached its culmination in the Great Rebellion of 1857, when a large part of India rose against the British rule. Respected elders, dear students and friends, now we would like to place before you a brief presentation on India's struggle for independence, a glimpse.
The revolt of 1857. It was the first major Indian resistance against the exploitation of British in India. It was the reaction against the unjust expansionist policies adopted by the East India Company. The revolt was so fierce and violent in nature that it took almost a year for the Britishers to suppress it. The policies like subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse were the cunning policies introduced by the Britishers, under which so many Indian princely states were swayed by them. Such expansionist policies by the Britishers made the native rulers suspicious on the company's intention.
Perhaps the most important factor behind this is economic policies carried out by the British government, such as the land tax revenue system. The British confiscated the lands of the zamindars who failed to pay the revenue. Moreover, the British ruined the traditional fabric of the Indian cottage industry. The artisans and craftsmen were later destroyed because of large-scale imports of cheap manufactured goods from Europe. The drain of wealth from India by the British along the process of deep industrialization crippled the traditional economy of India.
The next and the most important cause was introduction of Enfield rifle. In 1856, a rumor spread among the Indian army that the cartridges of these rifles were greased with the fat of pigs and cows, and the Sipais believed that opening these cartridges with their mouth would hurt the religious sentiments of both Hindus and the Muslims.
On 29th March 1857, Mangal Pandey, the young soldier of Barakpur, was arrested for revolting single-handedly by attacking his superior officers. He was later hanged on 8 April 1857.
During the British Raj, there was unrest and discontent amongst the people of India. The Hindu soldiers protested against the addition of Gurkha, Sikh and lower caste soldiers to their ranks. The use of animal grease on the cartridges of the newly introduced Enfield rifles was the last straw. While loading the rifles, soldiers had to bite off the end of the cartridges. It was made up of either pig or cow fat, which violated the religious sentiments of the Muslim and Hindu soldiers. In 1857, 3 regiments of the army refused to use the ammunition of the Enfield rifles and demanded that Bahadur Shah Zafar take over as the ruler of India and the head of the rebels. Mangal Pandey is one of the most famous figures of this uprising who attacked the British regiment. He was later arrested
the Indian National Congress, a call for unity. The Indian National Union was founded by A.O. Hume in the year 1884. He was a retired member of the Indian Civil Services. The first session of the Union was held in the year 1885. The first session of the Indian National Congress was presided by Dhamiji Banerjee. 72 delegates from different parts of the country visited Bombay to attend this session. The Indian National Congress had representatives from different parts of the communities.
Divide and rule, the cunning strategy of the Britishers. The second phase of the Indian national movement began with the partition of Bengal in 1905. On 20th July 1905, Lord Curzon announced the division of the provinces of Bengal into two parts, East and West, to suppress the rising nationalistic tide and the growing unity between Hindus and Muslims. The nationalistic leaders like Lal Bal Pal and others provided leadership to the anti-partition campaign at a pan-India level.
The Swadeshi movement. The Swadeshi movement is also called as boycott movement. The partition of Bengal gave rise to an extremely new method of opposing government policies. People of all the sections joined the Congress in the Swadeshi movement and began to boycott British rule and not to purchase anything made in England. An appeal was made to the shopkeepers to stop selling British products and encourage the sale of Indian goods. Loads and loads of goods and clothes were burned down in public. The ideas of self-reliance and self-help were encouraged. Swadeshi movement became as famous as Vande Mataram movement.
Advent of Mahatma Gandhiji. The arrival of Mahatma Gandhiji from South Africa marked the new era in the history of freedom struggle. His arrival in India heralded the era of mass politics which was carried out by the educated middle class under the patronage of Indian National Congress. In 1916, he founded the Sabarmati Ashram in Gujarat and opened it for all castes. He encouraged people to use Swadeshi goods and popularized the use of charaka and khadi clothes.
The Rowlatt Act. The British government passed the Rowlatt Act in 1919. This act authorized the government to imprison any person without the warrant whom it is suspected for. This act curbed the freedom of expression, which was opposed by all the people of society. Mahatma Gandhiji launched the Rowlatt Satyagraha to oppose this act. A nationwide hartal was called on April 6, 1919. The Hindus and the Muslims put together the united front against the British government.
The Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Gandhiji protested against the Rowlatt Act by calling a hartal on 6th April. On this charge, Gandhiji got arrested with other two Congress leaders such as Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin. The protest against the Rowlatt Act was very severe in Punjab. On 13th April 1919, on the festival of Baisakhi, a peaceful public meeting was held at Jallianwala Bagh, Amritsar. General Dyer, the military commander of Amritsar, led a group of soldiers to block the only exit of the park, which was enclosed by three other sides. He then ordered to open fire without any warning on the helpless men, women and children gathered there. Thousands of people were killed while others were severely injured. The Jallianwala Bagh incident created the nationwide anger towards the British government.
The non-cooperation movement. Gandhiji launched the non-violent, non-cooperation movement in September 1920. The non-cooperation movement had the following aims: to redress the injustice done to Punjab during the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, to attain Swaraj for the people of India, boycott of foreign goods and use of Swadeshi goods. Students were asked to boycott the education institutions run by the British. The Indian soldiers in the British Army refused to serve in the army. The non-cooperation movement aimed to disrupt the normal life and bring the British administration to a standstill.
Chauri Chaura incident. Since the very beginning, Gandhiji was emphasizing that the entire movement should remain peaceful. However, it took in a violent turn due to the incident of Chauri Chaura. On 4th February 1922, the police opened fire upon the Congress procession at Chauri Chaura of Gorakhpur district in Uttar Pradesh. In retaliation, the angry crowd burned down the police station, which resulted in the death of 22 policemen. Similar kind of violent protests were witnessed in different parts of the country. As a result, Gandhiji called off the non-cooperation movement. On 18th March 1922, Gandhiji was arrested and was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment.
Simon Commission. In November 1927, the British government appointed the Simon Commission under the chairmanship of Sir John Simon. The Indians were dissatisfied with this commission because it had no Indian members. All the 7 members were the British. The commission did not approve to the Indian demand for Swaraj. Consequently, the Indian National Congress decided to boycott the commission. People all over the country raised the slogan, "Simon, go back," and held demonstrations. The police had to resort lathi charge. At Lahore, Lala Lajpat Rai was seriously wounded during the lathi charge and he died later on.
Civil disobedience movement. The Congress launched the civil disobedience movement in 1930 under the leadership of Gandhi. He started the movement by the violation of salt law on the sea coast at Dandi. On 12 March 1930, Gandhiji marched from Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad. He had around 78 followers with him. He marched for 400 kilometers and reached Dandi, a village on the coast of Gujarat. On reaching Dandi, he violated the salt law by picking a handful of salt found on the seashore. The British government used repressive measures to crush the movement. Satyagrahis were imprisoned in large number.
The Round Table Conference. In November 1930, the British government organized the first Round Table Conference at London. The main objective of this conference was to discuss the report of Simon Commission. This conference was attended by the Muslim League, the Hindu Mahasabhas and the princely states. But the Congress decided to boycott the conference and hence no agreements were made on constitutional changes. The Viceroy Lord Irwin invited Mahatma Gandhiji for a talk. Mahatma Gandhiji met Viceroy on 5th of March 1931. According to the pact between Gandhiji and Irwin, Gandhiji agreed to suspend the civil disobedient movement and participate in the second Round Table Conference as the representative of Congress. But the unending discussion on communal issues led to the failure of second Round Table Conference. Gandhiji had to return to India in utter disappointment.
The Quit India movement, the final blow for independence. On 14 July 1942, the Congress Working Committee passed the Quit India resolution at Wardha. It demanded an immediate end to the British rule in India. This movement was launched under the leadership of Gandhiji. Mahatma Gandhiji raised the slogan of "Do or Die." The British government again followed the policy of suppression and arrested the prominent leaders. Men, women and children all took an active part in the Quit India movement and the movement was widely spread. The British government resorted to lathi charge and firing to suppress the revolt. By December 1942, over 60,000 people were sent to jail.
The Cabinet Mission. After the Second World War, the Labour Party came to power in England. It sent a cabinet mission to India to discuss about the transfer of power to India. It recommended for a united India, but the Muslim League opposed and protested and later called for Direct Action Day on 16th August 1946. As a result, widespread communal violence took place in many parts of the country. The relationship between the Congress and the Muslim League had worsened. In the meantime, the British government sent Lord Mountbatten as the viceroy to speed up the transfer of power. Lord Mountbatten had a discussion with the Congress and the Muslim League and finally decided to divide India.
In July 1947, the British passed the Indian Independence Bill. Accordingly, two nations named India and Pakistan came into existence. India became free from the clutches of Britishers on 15 August 1947. Today, India is celebrating her 75th Independence Day. To mark the event, the Government of India is organizing several events under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav with the theme Nation First, Always First.
Never forget the sacrifice of our freedom fighters who formed this country. Jai Hind! Jai Hind! Jai Hind!
ಸಹೃದಯ ದೇಶಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಇದೀಗ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಪಡಿಸಲಿರುವ ಕನ್ನಡ ರೂಪಕ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ಶಿರೋಮಣಿ ರಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್. Ram Prasad Bismil was a revolutionary freedom fighter, and our students are now going to present a feature in Kannada based on the incidents of Ram Prasad Bismil. ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸಿ ಆನಂದಿಸಿ.
ಸುಮಾರು ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ಆಡಳಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಮರಣದಂಡನೆಗೆ ಒಳಗಾದ ಕೈದಿಯನ್ನು ಹಿಡಿದುಕೊಂಡು ಪೊಲೀಸನೊಬ್ಬ ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಹಾದಿ ಬದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಸ್ತಿ ಪಂದ್ಯವೊಂದು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಕೈದಿಯನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಪೊಲೀಸನವ ಕುಸ್ತಿ ಪಂದ್ಯವನ್ನು ನೋಡುತ್ತಾ ನಿಂತ. ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲಿದ್ದ ಜನರು ಆ ಕೈದಿಯನ್ನು ಸಂಕೋಲೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂಧಿಸಿ ಇಡಬೇಕೆಂದು ಸಲಹೆ ನೀಡಿದರು. ಆದರೆ ಆ ಪೊಲೀಸನವ, ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಆ ಕೈದಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಭರವಸೆ ಇದೆ, ಅವನು ನನಗೆ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಓಡಿ ಹೋಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂದ. ತಪ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಓಡಿ ಹೋಗುವ ಅವಕಾಶವಿದ್ದರೂ ಆ ಪೊಲೀಸನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಭರವಸೆಯನ್ನು ಸುಳ್ಳಾಗಿಸಲು ಮನಸ್ಸಾಗದೆ ಕುಸ್ತಿ ಪಂದ್ಯ ಮುಗಿಯುವವರೆಗೂ ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದ. ಅಂತಹ ಭರವಸೆ ಮೂಡಿಸಿದ್ದ ಆ ಕೈದಿ ಬೇರಾರು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವನೇ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ಶಿರೋಮಣಿ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ವೀರ ರಾಮ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್.
ರಾಮ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಉತ್ತರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದ ಶಹಜಹಾನ್ಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ 12 ಜೂನ್ 1897ರಂದು. ಇವರು ಹಿಂದಿ ಪಂಡಿತರಾದ ತಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ಮುರಳೀಧರರಿಂದ ಹಿಂದಿಯನ್ನು ಹಾಗೂ ಮೌಲ್ವಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ಉರ್ದುವನ್ನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದರು. ಇವರಿಗೆ ದೇಶಭಕ್ತಿ ಗೀತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೆಯುವ ಹವ್ಯಾಸವಿತ್ತು. ಇವರ ಗೀತೆಗಳು ಭಗತ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ರವರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿದ್ದವು. ಆರ್ಯ ಸಮಾಜದ ತತ್ವಗಳಿಂದ ಆಕರ್ಷಿತರಾದ ರಾಮ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದಯಾನಂದ ಸರಸ್ವತಿಯವರ ಸತ್ಯಾರ್ಥ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ ಗ್ರಂಥವನ್ನೂ ಓದಿದ್ದರು. ಆರ್ಯ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಸೇರಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸೋಮದೇವರಿಂದ ಆಕರ್ಷಿತರಾದರು. ಅವರನ್ನೇ ಗುರುವೆಂದು ನಂಬಿ ಅವರ ಸಲಹೆಯಂತೆ ನಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದರು.
ಹೇ ಮಾತೃಭೂಮಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಶಿರವಾಗುವೆನು, ನಿನ್ನ ಉಳಿಸಲು ನಾನೇ ದೇಹವನ್ನು ಮುಡಿಪಾಗಿಸುತ್ತಿವೆನು. ಭಾರತ ಮಾತೆಯ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರಗೊಳಿಸಲು ಸೇನೆಯ ನಾನು ಕಟ್ಟುವೆನು. ಆಂಗ್ಲರ ಪ್ರಾಣವ ಶಸ್ತ್ರಲಿ ಹೇರುತ್ತ ಉಗ್ರ ಹೋರಾಟವ ನಡೆಸುವೆನು. ಹೇ ಮಾತೃಭೂಮಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾ ಶಿರವಾಗುವೆನು, ನಿನ್ನ ಉಳಿಸಲು ನಾ ಈ ದೇಹವನ್ನು ಮುಡಿಪಾಗಿಟ್ಟಿಹೆನು. ವೈರಿಯ ದೇಹದ ರಕ್ತವ ಬಸಿದು ನಿನಗಭಿಷೇಕವ ಮಾಡುವೆನು. ವೈರಿಯ ಕರುಳಿನ ಹಾರವ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕೊರಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಕುವೆನು. ಹೇ ಮಾತೃಭೂಮಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾ ಶಿರವಾಗುವೆನು, ನಿನ್ನ ಉಳಿಸಲು ನಾ ಈ ದೇಹವನ್ನು ಮುಡಿಪಾಗಿಟ್ಟಿಹೆನು, ನಾ ಮುಡಿಪಾಗಿಟ್ಟಿಹೆನು.
ಆಹಾ, ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಉತ್ಕಟವಾದ ದೇಶ ಪ್ರೇಮ
ಈ ನಿನ್ನ ಕವಿತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತಿದೆ ರಾಮಪ್ರಸಾದ್.
ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ನನ್ನ ಈ ಮಾತೃಭೂಮಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಪರಕೀಯರಿಂದ ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗುವುದು, ಯಾವಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಈ ದೇಶವಾಸಿಗಳು ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರರಾಗುವರು, ಇದೊಂದೇ ಚಿಂತೆ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕಾಡುತ್ತಿದೆ.
ರಾಮಪ್ರಸಾದ್, ನಿನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸೇನಾನಿ ಲಾಲಾ ಹರದಯಾಳರ ಅನುವರ್ತಿ ಭಾಯಿ ಪರಮಾನಂದರಿಗೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮರಣದಂಡನೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ.
ಛೇ, ಎಂತಹ ದುರಂತ ಇದು! ಓ ಭಾರತ ಮಾತೆ, ನೀನು ಹೀಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವೀರಪುತ್ರರನ್ನು ಕಳೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವೆ ತಾಯಿ. ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ನನ್ನ ರಕ್ತ ಕುದಿಯುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಭಾಯಿ ಪರಮಾನಂದರಿಗೆ ಮರಣದಂಡನೆ ವಿಧಿಸಿದ ಆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಕಲಿಸಿಯೇ ತೀರುತ್ತೇನೆ.
ರಾಮಪ್ರಸಾದ್, ಪ್ರತಿಜ್ಞೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಬಹಳ ಸುಲಭ, ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಪಾಲಿಸುವುದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ.
ಈ ಗುರುಚರಣಗಳ ಕೃಪೆ ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿಜ್ಞೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ಈಡೇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಅಡ್ಡಿಯೂ ಆಗದು.
ಶುಭಮಸ್ತು. ಆ ಭಗವಂತನ ದಯೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮೇಲಿರಲಿ. ನಿನ್ನ ದೇಶಭಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಸಾಬೀತುಪಡಿಸುವ ಕಾಲ ಈಗ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ರಾಮಪ್ರಸಾದ್, ನೀನು ಈಗಲೇ ಲಕ್ನೋಗೆ ಹೋಗು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸೇರು. ತಾಯ್ನಾಡಿನ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹೋರಾಡು.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆದೇಶವನ್ನು ಪಾಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ ಗುರುಗಳೇ. ನನ್ನ ದೇಹದ ಕೊನೆಯ ಉಸಿರು ಇರುವವರೆಗೂ ತಾಯಿ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡುವೆನು.
ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಲಿ.
ಹೇ ಮಾತೃಭೂಮಿ, ನಿನ್ನ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾ ಶಿರಬಾಗುವೆನು. ನಿನ್ನ ಉಳಿಸಲು ನಾ ಈ ದೇಹವನ್ನು ಮುಡಿಪಾಗಿಟ್ಟಿಹೆನು.
ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸೋಮದೇವರ ಸಲಹೆಯಂತೆ ರಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ ತನ್ನ ಹಲವು ಮಿತ್ರರಾದ ಅಶ್ಫಾಕುಲ್ಲಾ ಖಾನ್, ರೋಷನ್ ಸಿಂಹ, ರಾಜೇಂದ್ರನಾಥ್ ಲಾಹಿರಿ, ಮನ್ಮಥನಾಥ್ ಗುಪ್ತಾ, ಕೇಶವ್ ಚಕ್ರವರ್ತಿ, ಸಚೀಂದ್ರ ಬಕ್ಷಿ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೊಂದಿಗೆ ಲಕ್ನೋಗೆ ತೆರಳಿದರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸೇರಿದರು. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿನ ನರಂದರ್ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಹೋರಾಟಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಗರಂದರ್ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಕಾರಿ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಶಸ್ತ್ರಸಜ್ಜಿತ ಹೋರಾಟಗಳು ಇಷ್ಟವಾದವು. ಅಮೆರಿಕಾ ಕಿ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಕಾ ಇತಿಹಾಸ್ ಎಂಬ ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ಲರು ಬರೆದರು. ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕವು ಅಸಂಖ್ಯ ಯುವಕರಿಗೆ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಕಾರಿಯಾಗಲು ಸಹಕಾರಿಯಾದ್ದರಿಂದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರವು ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಮಾರಾಟವನ್ನು ನಿಷೇಧಿಸಿತು. ಆದರೂ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡೆದ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ಲರು ದೇಶವಾಸಿಯೋಂ ಕೆ ನಾಮ್ ಸಂದೇಶ್ ಎಂಬ ಕರಪತ್ರವನ್ನು ಮುದ್ರಿಸಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈತ್ರಿ ಕಿ ಪ್ರತಿಜ್ಞಾ ಎಂಬ ಕವನದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಕಾರಿ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ದೇಶಭಕ್ತರ ಮುಂದಿಟ್ಟರು.
ಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಣ ಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ಲರು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಮಾರಾಟ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಖಜಾನೆಗಳ ಲೂಟಿ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಪ್ರಯಾಣಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದ ರೈಲುಗಳ ದೊರಡೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದರು. ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಸಿಂಹಸ್ವಪ್ತರಾದರು. 1918ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ ಮೈತ್ರಿ ರೈಲು ದರೋಡೆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ಗುಂಡಿನಿಂದ ತಪ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲು ಯಮುನಾ ನದಿಗೆ ಧುಮುಕಿ ನೀರಿನೊಳಗಿಂದಲೇ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ನಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಈಜಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದರು. ಮೂರ್ಖ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ದಿವಸಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಚ್ಚೆತ್ತ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಅವರನ್ನು ಆಗ್ರಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂಧಿಸಿದರು. ಆದರೆ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ಲರು ಜೈಲನ್ನನ್ನೇ ಕೊಂದು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತಪ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದರು. ನಂತರ ಭೂಗತವಾಗಿದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ಮನ್ ಕಿ ಲಹರ್, ಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ಗೀತಾಂಜಲಿ ಎಂಬ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೆದು ಅಸಂಖ್ಯ ಯುವಕರನ್ನು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಡುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರೇರೇಪಿಸಿದರು. ಸ್ವರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಂದಿಗೂ ಅಹಿಂಸಾ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಡೆಯಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂಬುದು ಇವರ ಬಲವಾದ ನಿಲುವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತೊರೆದು ಹಿಂದೂಸ್ತಾನ್ ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಎಂಬ ತಂಡವನ್ನು ಸಹ ಕಟ್ಟಿದರು. ಶಿರವನ್ನರ್ಪಿಸುವ ಬಯಕೆಯಿಂದ ಮನ ದೋಡಿದು ಎಂದು ನೋಡಬೇಕು ತೋರಿಯ ಮೈಲುಗಳ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ ಎಂದು. ಅಂದರೆ ಸರ್ವರೋಷ ಕಿ ತಮನ್ನ ಅಬ್ ಹಮಾರೆ ದಿಲ್ ಮೇ ಹೈ, ದೇಖನಾ ಹೈ ಝೋನ್ ಕಿ ತರ ಬಾಜುए का दिल में है. ಈ ಸಾಲುಗಳೇ ಅವರ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಕಾರಿ ಸಂಘದ ಘೋಷವಾಕ್ಯಗಳಾದವು.
सर्वरोष की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है, देखना है जोर की
ಸಾಗಿಸುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಇದೇ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ 9ರಂದು ಈ ಹಣವನ್ನು ನಾವು ದೋಚಿದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಕಾರಿ ಕೆಲಸಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಉಪಯೋಗವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಅಶ್ಫಾಕುಲ್ಲಾ ಖಾನ್, ನಿನಗೇನು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತದೆ?
अरे ನಮ್ದು के दिल के बहुत खुशी आयತು. ब्रिटिश के बुद्धि कलसोके ಇದು बहुत अच्छा मौका. आगे ज्यादा पैसे कमाने वाले मौका. ಬಾಯ್ ರಾಜೇಂದ್ರ ಲಾಹಿರಿ, ನೀನೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿ?
ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ನಾವು ಇದುವರೆಗೆ ರೈಲು ದರೋಡೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತೆ ಈ ಬಾರಿ ಮಾಡಲಾಗದು. ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಯೋಜನೆ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಈ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕಾರಣ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಭಾರೀ ಬಿಗಿ ಭದ್ರತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಸಾಗಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ರೋಷನ್ ಸಿಂಹ, ನಿನಗೇನಾದರೂ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯ ಗೊತ್ತೇ?
ಹೌದು, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಸುಮಾರು 30 ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಸೈನಿಕರು ಹಣದ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊರಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ 20 ಪೊಲೀಸರ ಕಾವಲು ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಭೋಗಿಗಳು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದು ಪ್ರಯಾಣಿಕರು ಸಹ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೇಶವ ಚಕ್ರವರ್ತಿ, ನಿನ್ನ ಉಪಾಯವೇನು?
ನಾವು ಸೂಕ್ತವಾದ ಗಿಡ ಮರ ಪೊದೆಗಳಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿದ ನಿರ್ಜನವಾದ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಡಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಸಮಯ ನೋಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸಬೇಕು.
ಅಂತಹ ಪ್ರದೇಶವಿರುವುದು ಶಹಜಹಾನ್ಪುರದಿಂದ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಕಾಕೋರಿ ಎಂಬ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪಟ್ಟಣದ ಹತ್ರ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಗೇಟ್ಗಳಿರೋದರಿಂದ ರೈಲು ಕೂಡ ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಚಲಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಲ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಂತು ಮುಂದೆ ಸಾಗೋದುಂಟು. ಸಚೀಂದ್ರ ಪಕ್ಷಿ, ನೀನೇನು ಮಾಡುವೆ?
ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದೇ ಆಯಿತು. ರೈಲು ಹೊರಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದಂತೆ ನಾನು ಮತ್ತು ಮನ್ಮಥನಾಥ ಗುಪ್ತ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಪೊಲೀಸರ ವೇಷದಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಲು ಹತ್ತಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗದಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಯಾಣಿಕರ ಸೋಗಿನಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ನಾವು ರೈಲು ಹತ್ತುವವರೇ ಅಲ್ಲವೇ ಮನ್ಮಥನಾಥ?
ಹೌದು, ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಕಾಕೋರಿ ಸಮೀಪದ ರೈಲ್ವೆಗೆ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದಂತೆ ತುರ್ತು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆಂದೇ ಇರುವಂತ ಆ ರೈಲಿನ ಚೈನನ್ನು ಎಳೆಯುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಆಗ ರೈಲು ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ನಿಲ್ಲುತ್ತದೆ.
ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ತಂಡದವರೊಡನೆ ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಪೊದೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಗಿರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ರೈಲು ನಿಂತ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಏನಾಯಿತೆಂದು ನೋಡಲು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಸೈನಿಕರು ಮತ್ತು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಕೆಳಗಿಳಿಯುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೂಡಲೇ ನಾವು ಮಿಂಚಿನ ವೇಗದಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಲು ಹತ್ತಿ ಹಣದ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಕೆಳಗಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಮುಕುಂದಾಲ್ ಬನ್ಶಿ, ನೀನೇನು ಮಾಡುವೆ?
ಪೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ವಿಷಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಉಳಿದ ಗೆಳೆಯರು ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಮತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ತಂಡ ನೀವು ಫೈರ್ ಎಂದ ಕ್ಷಣ ಜರ್ಮನ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಮೌಸರ್ ಪಿಸ್ತೂಲಿನಿಂದ ಆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಗುಂಡಿನ ರುಚಿ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ.
ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಮುಕುಂದ್ ಬನ್ಶಿ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ 10 ಜನರ ಬಳಿ ಜರ್ಮನ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಮೌಸರ್ ಪಿಸ್ತೂಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದೊಂದರಲ್ಲೂ 6 ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅವರಿರುವುದು 50, ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಇರುವುದು 60, 10 ನಮಗೆ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತದೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಒತ್ತೋಡಿಸಲು ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವುದು ಶಸ್ತ್ರಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳು. ಈ ದರೋಡೆ ಮೂಲಕ ಒಗ್ಗೂಡಿಸಿದ ಹಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಜರ್ಮನಿ ಮತ್ತು ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಂದ ಶಸ್ತ್ರಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಧರಿಸಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಒತ್ತೋಡಿಸಬೇಕು. ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕಾಕೋರಿ ದರೋಡೆಯ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಗಳು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿದಿದೆ ತಾನೇ?
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿದಿದೆ. सरफरोश की तमन्ना हमारे दिल में है. देखलाए जोर कितना बाजुए का दिल में है.
ರಾಮಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ ತಂಡ ಅಂದುಕೊಂಡಂತೆಯೇ ಕಾಕೋರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಲು ದರೋಡೆ ನಡೆದೇ ಹೋಯಿತು. ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ರೂಪಾಯಿಗಳು ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ಲದ ಪಾಲಾದವು. 10-20 ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಸೈನಿಕರು ಸತ್ತರು, ಕೆಲವರು ಗಾಯಗೊಂಡರು. ಇದು ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಕಾಕೋರಿ ದರೋಡೆ ಎಂದೇ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧವಾಯಿತು. ಹೀಗೆ ರಾಮಪ್ರಸಾದರು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ಪ್ರಭುತ್ವವನ್ನೇ ನಡುಗಿಸಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟರು. ಇದರಿಂದ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಅವಮಾನಿತರಾದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ತೀವ್ರ ಶೋಧ ನಡೆಸಿ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ ಸಹಿತ 40 ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸೆರೆ ಹಿಡಿದರು. ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ 3 ವರ್ಷ, 5 ವರ್ಷ, 7 ವರ್ಷ ಹೀಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ವಿಧಿಸಿದರು. ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ ಸಹಿತ 4 ಪ್ರಮುಖರಿಗೆ ಜೀವಾವಧಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆಗೆ ಮನವಿ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ಲರ ಸಾಹಸಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೆದರಿದ್ದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಉಗ್ರ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಲು ಮುಂದಾದರು.
ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದೂ ಸಿಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪನಿಷ್. ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದ ತಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮರಣದಂಡನೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ?
ನೀವೆಂತಹ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧಿಕಾರಿ, ಬಹಳ ಸಂಭಾವಿತರಂತೆ ಮಾತನಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಕ್ಕೆಂದು ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೊಳ್ಳೆ ಹೊಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವ ನೀವು ದರೋಡೆಕೋರರು. ಇದನ್ನು ವಿರೋಧಿಸಿದ ನಮ್ಮವರನ್ನು ಗುಂಡಿಕ್ಕಿ ಕೊಲ್ಲುತ್ತಿರುವ ನೀವು ಕೊಲೆಗಡುಕರು. ನಮ್ಮವರ ಬಾಳಿಗೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯಾಗುತ್ತಿರುವ ನೀವು ನೀಚ ಮನುಷ್ಯರು. ನಮ್ಮಂತಹ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರಿಗೆ ಮರಣದಂಡನೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತಿರುವ ನೀವು ಮೂರ್ಖರು.
ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ್ಮಸಿದ್ಧ ಹಕ್ಕು. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಗುಲಾಮರಂತೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಂಡವರ ಸಂಪತ್ತನ್ನು ಗತಿಗೆಟ್ಟವರಂತೆ ಬಾಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ನೀವು ಕಳ್ಳರು. ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕಲಿಯಬೇಕಾದ್ದು ಏನಿದೆ? ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕಾಂತಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವುದು ನೀವು, ನಾವಲ್ಲ.
ನಮ್ಮ ಪೂರ್ವಜರು ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರದ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ದುರುಪಯೋಗ ಪಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದವರು ನೀವು. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪರಾಧಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕುವಿರಿ. ನೀವು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರೋದು ಅಪರಾಧವಲ್ಲವೇ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪರಾಧಗಳೇ ಎಂದಾದರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ನೆನಪಿದೆಯೇ? ನಿಮ್ಮವರಿಗೊಂದು ನ್ಯಾಯ, ನಮ್ಮವರಿಗೊಂದು ನ್ಯಾಯ. ಈ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಮೋಸದಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿದೆ.
ನೀವೇನ್ ನಮ್ ಹೋರಾಟ ನಿಲ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತದೆ. ನಿಮ್ದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮರಣ ದಂಡನೆ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ, ಸಾಯಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ ಕೇಳಿ, ಇವೊಬ್ಬ ಅಶ್ವತ್ಥ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಮುಂದೆ ಇಂತ 100 ಕಾಲಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇಂತ 10 ರಾಮಪ್ರಸಾದ್ಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಗೊಂಡೆಕ್ಕಿ ಕೊತ್ತದೆ. ಆಗ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆದ್ರಿ ಗಡ ನಡುತ್ತದೆ. ರಾತ್ರೋರಾತ್ರಿ ದೇಶ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಮ್ದು ಕಡೆಯವರೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತದೆ.
ಬಾಯಿ ಮುಚ್ಚಿ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವೇ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಯುತ್ತೀರಿ. ಆದರೂ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಮಾತು. ಯು ಬ್ಲಡಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೊಕ್ಕು ನಿಮಗೆ! ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್.
ನಮಗೆ ಸಾವಿನ ಭಯವಿಲ್ಲ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧಿಕಾರಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಾವು ಉದಾತ್ತವಾದದ್ದು. ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾತೃಭೂಮಿಯ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹೋರಾಡುತ್ತಿರುವವರು. ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಸಾವು ಮುಂದೆ 100 ಜನರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆಯಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಇಂದು ಒಬ್ಬ ಸತ್ತರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರು ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಓಡಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನನ್ನ ಮಾತೃಭೂಮಿ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ. ಬೋಲೋ ಭಾರತ್ ಮಾತಾ ಕೇ ಜೈ! ಬೋಲೋ ಭಾರತ್ ಮಾತಾ ಕೇ ಜೈ!
ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ 18ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಗೋರಖ್ಪುರದ ಸೆರೆಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ರಾಮಪ್ರಸಾದ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ನೋಡಲು ಅವರ ತಾಯಿ ಬಂದರು. ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ಲರು ಅವರ ತಾಯಿಯನ್ನು ಅಮ್ಮ ಎಂದು ಕರೆಯುವುದು ಅಂದೇ ಕೊನೆಯ ಸಲ. ಅಮ್ಮನನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ ಕ್ಷಣ ಚುಕ್ಕ ಉಕ್ಕಿ ಬಂದಂತಾಗಿ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಸುರಿಸುತ್ತಾ ನಿಂತರು ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್. ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಧ್ವನಿಯಿಂದ ತಾಯಿ ಕೇಳಿದರು, ಮಗನೇ, ನೀನು ಹರೀಶ್ವರನೆಂದು ನಾನು ಅಂದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ನಿನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರವೇ ನಡುಗಿ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು. ಈಗಲೂ ನಡುಗುತ್ತದೆ ಎಂದು ಭಾವಿಸಿದ್ದೆ. ಆದರೆ ನೀನು ಹೀಗೆ ಮರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಜುವವ ಎಂದುಕೊಂಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೀಗೆ ಅಳುತ್ತಾ ಸಾಯುವುದಾದರೆ ಇಂಥ ಜನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನೀನೇಕೆ ಕೈ ಹಾಕಿದೆ ಮಗು? ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ರಾಮಪ್ರಸಾದ ಬಿಸ್ಮಿಲ್ಲರು ಏನೆಂದು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಗೊತ್ತೇ?
ಅಮ್ಮ, ಇದು ಸಾವಿಗೆ ಹೆದರಿ ಬರುತ್ತಿರುವ ಕಣ್ಣೀರಲ್ಲ, ವೀರ ಮಾತೆಯ ಮೇಲಿನ ಪ್ರೇಮದಿಂದ ಉಕ್ಕುತ್ತಿರುವ ಆನಂದ ಬಾಷ್ಪ. ಅಮ್ಮ, ಪ್ರತಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ನಿನ್ನಂತಹ ತಾಯಂದಿರೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನನ್ನಂತಹ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತಿದ್ದರು. ಆಗ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಓಡಿಸುವ ಪ್ರಮೇಯವೇ ಬರುತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಾರಣ, ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶವನ್ನು
ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗೀತೆ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತು ಗೌರವ.